Hi, okay. We've covered, we are now on to Moodle APIs. Well, we've gone into Moodle API. We're now into Page API, which is the first of the Moodle APIs we're going to cover now. Now, this is a good point for me to point out why we're doing what we're doing and the journey we're on. We're on a journey to produce at the end of this tutorial, this whole video series. We're going to come out with commercial grade um, learning data analytics solution application, which would also be used for artificial intelligence at a later time in our development. So afterwards of getting the learning data analytics solution, we're going to customize it to be suitable for artificial intelligence. All of this within Moodle. Now, what we've done is we've covered the building blocks essentially. Just like you build a house, you need blocks, you need bricks and mortar. So we've covered all the elements we need to get together for our solution. And now we're now going to the architecture. Um, the framework we're going to use is Moodle, which is based on PHP. We have already done the introduction, we've done the installation. We've now got a Moodle solution which works. It's bland right now because there are no courses, there are no activities yet. But what we're going to do is not populated with activities yet. What we're actually going to do is create our own uh, piece of plugin, our own software using the Moodle architecture. And as we go along, I'll be showing you how it works. You'll be learning about how to make your own, how to develop your own software using this Moodle, using the Moodle APIs, because the Moodle APIs are the gateway to understanding how to code and how to produce, how to develop solutions, how to write code in Moodle to world-class standard. It will be useful for you to know that not very many Moodle coders, and as such, the market is huge for those who are really good at what they're doing. Okay, so page API. So another thing, instead of just reading the notes or going through the notes on the lessons, I will just go through the first part of it. Then later afterwards, we'll be following Moodle documentation because Moodle is very well documented. So there will no use me use essentially just repeating what is already well documented, if not better, on Moodle Docs. Now, the reason why I will start with our learning platform documentation is because it's customized to suit exactly your mission, which is developing commercial grade code. Now, so Moodle web applications are made of pages. So, and every page has its design structure that is consistent across the pages that make up the website. I think that much is clear, right? Every website has its own theme, its own look and feel, and this is where the page API comes in. This is where the global variable page comes in. So that's just about the introduction I will give. Now, um, so let's see what it says here. Say page API is an integral part of the Moodle page. It allows the developer to set things up the way they envisage it. Through the page API, you can set things like the title, the initial heading, where the user is for the navigation and which layouts you think the page should use. So all of these are programmatically set up in the page API, and the page API is a global variable. So obviously, because this is object oriented, you can include so many things that are accessible in that global variable page dollar sign page. Now, this example sets up how to set up a basic page for use within an activity plugin. And it's undoubtedly the simplest example, as much of the work is done behind the scenes for us. Now, this is what we're going to use. Bear in mind, we already have a Moodle solution, bland as it is, which is right here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start showing you how you can develop plugin from scratch, using the templates made for us already, or using the code already of an existing plugin that works. Okay, so these are just indicators, navigation, visual tours, also you can get used to what to do and what to expect. So I'm just going to say got it there to get that out of the way. So I'm already logged in. Obviously, you're going to use the login we had yesterday. If you do recall, and I said you should let Google Password Manager save it for you, so you don't have to remember it. Okay. So what we're going to do now is fire up our first of all fire up File Explorer. Okay. So let's fire up File Explorer, and we're going to go to um, you're going to go to Moodle C drive where we installed it. We installed it on C drive, didn't we? Going to C drive, going to Moodle here. That's where we installed it. So, right. So we got that there. Um, so I think I mentioned this. So to start Moodle, you just click start. To stop Moodle, you click stop. This starts the server and stops the server. Okay, but obviously we already got it started. Once you've installed it, that's a start. But you can stop it at any time, so you can use your computer resources for something else, and you can start it back up again at a later time too. You just go to localhost and it's automatically set up for you. Now, to find the code, you go to server, and um, the way Moodle code is set up, usually you get used to it as time goes along. And most of your code, the code you're going to be working with, is going to be inside of your Moodle. The data or files folder is in Moodle data. Do not touch this file, any of the files in there at all. If you do that, you will mess up the whole data system. So just only work on this Moodle folder, which is equivalent to your htdocs folder. If you're an existing web developer, you will know what htdocs means. Um, this is equivalent to your htdocs folder, but this is specifically for Moodle because I told you, I said we're going to get used to the architecture. So here we are. So, okay, so these are all the uh, pieces of code, um, in each application code inside of Moodle. Okay, so you got ground, you got analytics you're going to be going into later. You got auth, which is authentication, availability, and so on and so forth. I will show you all of this in the interface. But this is the file structure in the back end. So what we're looking for is mod. These are where all the application and resources are. Um, like I said, you'll get used to all of this later on from use. You'll get used to it. So click on mod. And what we're going to do, essentially what we're going to be doing is using one of the activities, which is, if you do recall, it says here, the example covers how to set up a basic page for use within an activity plugin, which is, so essentially we're going to be using an activity plugin, and this is the activity and resources plugin folder, which is mod. Now, activity plugin is as simple as it sounds, which is like quiz, like lessons, assignments, all of these, like it says, forum, LTI page. So that's all about. What we're going to use is the folder one. We're just going to we're going to copy it and just paste it and paste it back in there. So we have a copy of it. Okay. So once we do that, we're going to rename this. We're going to rename this analytic test. Okay. Or yes, let's say analytic test. Let's just leave it like that. So we've got analytic test, and this is the plugin, right? This is the plugin name. You're gonna have to stick to that plugin name. You can call it whatever you want on your side, but this is what I'm gonna call it. So okay, we got that now. So this analytic test, I'm going to double click on it. Okay, and then copy that. Going to copy the URL for on your hard drive there, and then open up VS Code, VS Code, um, which is Visual Studio Code. Um, just if you type in there, it should come up. So I'm gonna open that up. Okay, there's something I was supposed to do, which is, but it seems not to be slow anymore. It's gonna open up. I already have VS Code running, so what I'm gonna do is close that one and open this one. Okay. The reason I said you should copy that URL on your hard drive is you're gonna paste that URL here to open it. Okay, it's opening. So we're gonna open what we opened instead. So close this one. Close this one. So we're gonna open this one. Okay. Okay, so we got that one open now. So we're gonna open a folder, or let's open a file instead. Open up the file, and you now highlight that one so that it lets you paste. You paste that one there, and you can now see you can see what you. So what you want to open is the view.php. I'll let you open it. So, oh no, cancel that. Open file again. I didn't want to open a restricted mode, that's why I canceled that. So we want to go for view. I guess it's still in restricted mode. Now I don't want it in restricted mode. So anyway, it's already in restricted mode. So what I'm gonna do is later on I would sort that out. Later on I'll sort out the restricted mode to be fully um, to not be restricted anymore, because if in restricted mode there's some things that will not run, like I just mentioned. So let's go back to here. So we are in that. So we're in here now. This is the build.php. Okay. So this is the code. This is the original code that came shipped with Moodle. What we're going to do, this is the code we need to modify to have our page. To have a page, we're going to work with the page API, the global variable page, and I'm going to demonstrate to you how it works using Moodle documentation. So let's quickly go back to the example shown us, which is here, and um, just copy from here. Just copy from here and paste it here. I'll show you where to paste it. So you go back into your um, go back in there and paste it from here. Okay, I'll show you what you're seeing here. Exactly what you're seeing. Let me make this so you can see what you're seeing there. What you're seeing here is what you're seeing here, except that this is coded properly now, whereas this is left for you to see as a sample. So you require config.php, which is absolutely required. Just the connection to the database and everything. Got the CMID, which is the course module ID that is needed for context, um, which it is uh, it is stated there, either automatically given or because you actually want the context to be what you want it to be. So all of these are placed in there. So essentially, you're saying the CM ID, you're putting it in there, and it says here, it says this is how it gets the CM ID. It says first of all, ID gets it from the optional parameter. Okay, so if you don't put the ID, if you don't put it in there, then it gets it from the database, which is here. Okay, and it gets the course module instance from where it is in the folder and the particular course. Okay, so all of, as it says there. So it's looking. So all of that is to drill down to find out exactly which course module and which context to use. So it's either this or that. That's why it says else. So it gets the record, and once it gets that, which is one, instead of doing all of this what's done there, instead of doing these two here very simple ones, is doing it here. That's why it's saying either database or because of what you put in there. And then this line here is where it gets the course record, or where it gets the course. It gets the record of the course, and that's what you're seeing here. Okay, so exactly the same as you can see. Now, after that, that's when you have to do the require login. The require login is another automatic setup we got with the Moodle API, whereby for you will see in the next API, which is for access. It requires login for you to access the course, and the other parameter is true, and it has the CM course module is another parameter. That variable has to be there for login to be done. So it takes the context module and the require capability with another access API we're going to go into. Now, it's not going into all of that now because we just want to show you about the page API, how the page is set up. So look at this, set URL. So this is the where we set the URL, the my module name, or this time it's going to be analytic underscore test. And we're going to call it view.php, and then the array ID which it fetches, and the CM ID which it also fetches. We set the title, the title, page title, and then we set the heading, which will now follow along with this page and govern essentially every page for this particular plugin. Okay, because it will call this particular page, it will call this particular page API. Now, everything I just mentioned to you is explained here, so I'm not going to read it. You can read it later on. The login is, the URL is on the page module. On the online module. Now, so this is how the page is set up. The URL. So what I'm going to do is instead of using this page, okay, yeah, let me just quickly say this Moodle 2. Essentially you got like before and after. This is for Moodle 2.0 and 2.1, and then Moodle 2.2 and greater. This is how you set the context. Whereas before then, for this particular one, 2.0 or 2.1, this is how you set the context. So just take note of that. But because we're going to work with Moodle 4, Moodle 4.4, obviously, we're going to be using this method of setting the context. Okay, so the other optional setups, for example, the page layouts, and these are the kind of layouts. These are the base theme page layouts to select from. If you just put base, you get the base. It's backward compatible. If you put standard, you get standard. If you put course, in course, which is this one, is used for typical for modules, which is the kind of one we're using now. It's going to be an in course. So you got different kind of layouts to use, but this is just a quick overhaul of page API. Now, also in the page API, as I mentioned to you, subject oriented, global variable. You can set activity record like so, and it actually gives you the activity record. You can set the activity record as like so. Once it's got that variable, you can editing capability. You can set block editing capability. You can set button like so. Set button HTML string. So there's so much you can do. As you can see, category by ID, set CM, set course, set docpad, set focus control. So all of these give you very fine-tuned control of what you can do with your page once you're inside of Moodle. And this is how you manipulate the code. So as it says there, activity record, getting information about the page. So you do this, you can get information about the very page you're on. You do this, you can get block manager, body ID, categories, endless possibilities really. So what I'm going to do is let you see the page you just created, okay? Or you just manipulated essentially. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, and then paste it here. Paste it from here. I'm gonna paste it up to, yeah, I'm gonna paste it up to there. So essentially, remember we don't have an ID, we don't have all the things that will make a proper page set up so it can retrieve from database. But I want to show you how you can use the Moodle architecture, the Moodle framework. You can get a page that functions. At least you can use it to get other aspects of the page, and you got something you can work with, the government essentially of your page, just by using this page API. The way I've done it now, using following up with the example they have said. Now, what we're going to do is call this analytic test, because what that's where it's going to find it. We actually do have uh, analytic tests locatable by Moodle, right? So I'm going to say page try through analytic test there, analytic head test heading, so you can see it when it shows up, right? So also what I'm going to do is change where it says folder to everything where it says folder to analytic test. Right, so I'm going to replace all. So that's done. And I'm going to save it. Just going to save it now. Let me just put on analytic test there. And if we miss any of them, to throw an error, so we'll know anyway. So let's save this. I'll save this. So save this now. What we're now going to do is go to this URL, set up here, and copy it without the quotes. Actually, let's get that backslash as well. So copy that now, and then we now go to so where it says localhost here, copy all of that after localhost, and after the actually let's get the backslash as well because we copied the backslash there. Okay, so we got that now. Let's click enter. So you see what I'm trying to show you is you have the page, you have the whole page here with an error because there's no ID. We did not give it an ID. reason we don't have an ID is because there's nothing in the database that indicates anything about analytic tests. We've not yet set it up. But the whole idea is you're using the page API now, because if you go to dashboard, you will see the dashboard default page. If you go to my courses, essentially if you go to site admin, that's where you see everything working. Okay, it's a page API. You got everything. Okay, yeah, here's the site administration now. So you're inside of the Moodle API working despite having an error there. So you can continue building on this. Actually, we are going to continue building on this particular plugin page API we just created with analytic test. So thank you for this one. I will see you in the next one, and the next one is going to be Access API. Next one is going to be Access API. So thank you. See you in the next one.